What's going on YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys good quality VR content. So with the holidays right around the corner, there's going to be a lot of people that are definitely looking to purchase a VR headset, get themselves into the VR market, or maybe you're an existing VR user that is looking to upgrade your hardware. Well, look no further. This video is going to be a buying guide discussing all the major VR headsets, the pros and cons to each ones, the do's and do nots, and really what you're looking for if you're going to be a consumer or a buyer of one of these headsets, and we're going to cover all that in this video. Guys, I'm closing in on 3,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. This is just going and exploding. My channel is just getting bigger and bigger by the minute, and I love it. I'm having a great time bringing you guys content, so thank you so much for liking these videos and subscribe to my channel. And if you aren't subscribed and you haven't liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'm bringing a ton of VR content. I'm a super VR enthusiast, and as my channel continues to grow, I definitely want to keep bringing good quality content to you guys. As a reward for all the subscribers and everybody that has been a part of this thing, I am giving away a copy of Unchained. It's for the Oculus Quest, so if you're a PC VR user, do not sign up for the giveaway. But how you can find the giveaway is in the description of this video. There's a link to my Discord server. Join the Discord server, head up to the giveaways channel, and you're going to press the emoji to enter the Unchained 2 giveaway, which is still going on for about another week before the winner is announced. That being said, let's go ahead and hop into our VR holiday buying guide. So with our first section of this video, we're going to talk about the headsets that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, and I don't even think the Grinch would go after these headsets because in the current VR market, you'd be wasting a ton of money if you purchased one of these VR headsets compared to what else is out there on the market. Now that being said, if you guys already own one of these headsets, or this has been your preferred headset, that's awesome, that's great. They've had their place in time, but in the current market, if you're looking to upgrade or buy a new VR headset, these are the ones that I would stay as far away from as possible just because of pricing, its specs, different things along the lines of that. And the first one on that list is going to be the Rift S. Yes, I know the Rift S is a good headset. It is, absolutely. But for $399, you're basically buying an outdated headset that Oculus is pretty much guaranteed they're not going to support within a coming year. I mean, look what happened with the Rift Consumer Version 1. They brought out the Rift S, and basically they said, everybody that has a Consumer Version 1, if you need parts, you can go kick sand. And that's what happened actually to me personally. So that's a personal experience. I'm not a huge fan of Facebook as a company because of things like that, and plenty of other things. But as far as I'm concerned, the Rift S is just not a good buy right now. Not when you can have an alternative with the Oculus Quest 2 that is cheaper, and even if you do want to get all the accessories to it, you're looking to pay the same amount of money, but it just has better specs in general. I just wouldn't buy a Rift S right now. That being said, the next headset on this list, the Vive Pro. Vive Pro is in the same exact situation. You are looking at a significant amount of money in order to pick up an entire Vive system, and even if you do already have the lighthouses and you're trying to upgrade from your original Vive, it's still a lot of money for just the standalone headset for the Vive Pro. You can get entire VR packages that have just better software and just better pieces of hardware in general for a much cheaper bang for your buck than even if you already have all the Vive wands and the tracking stations and you just want the Vive Pro. Now, the next one is the Vive Cosmos. Obviously, this headset doesn't have very good reviews, and for good reason. It's just not a great alternative headset, and I think that HTC definitely needs to take a step back and look at what they're doing, moving in the future of their headsets, because the Vive, the original Vive, was one of the most popular, widely used headsets, and so far what they've come out with to follow it up just really hasn't delivered. And again, the Vive Cosmos is going to cost you, a pretty penny compared to some of the other options on this list, and it just doesn't have the specs or the good reviews and good user-friendly content to back it up. Now, finally, this is truly a headset that you really don't want to ever go near, and that is the Pimax 8K or 5K, anything Pimax at all. Stay as far away from these headsets as possible. They're really not user-friendly at all. They really don't have good visuals, and they just don't run well, and overall, just not a good headset, especially for the price. You just are not going to want to get into this headset at all. Now, most of these stay away from and 10-foot pole headsets are primarily due to price because there's just so many better price options out there, but these headsets also are lacking in specs compared to some of the better headsets that again you can get for reasonably the same amount if not less money, and that's what we are actually going to move into next is our price section. So with our pricing section here, we're not even going to talk about the headsets we already said to stay away from, but we're going to talk about the headsets that really right now are the leading competitors and most likely the ones you're looking at to upgrade with. And that is going to be the HP Reverb, the Valve Index, and the Oculus Quest 2. Now, obviously the Oculus Quest 2 is the best priced headset out there on the market right now. You can get it for $299 for the 56GB version and then $399 for the 256GB version. There are some accessories that are highly recommended to have a good user experience with this headset, including the strap plus the battery pack, which runs, if you get both of them together, about $129 added on. So you got to filter that into your pricing discussion, but overall, even with the accessories, even if you go with the 256GB version, you're still cheaper than the next alternative, which is the HP Reverb, which is sitting at $599. Now, the HP Reverb has some good things going for it. However, though, if you get $599, you're going to get the whole package. You're going to get inside-out tracking, the controllers, and a headset that has really, really awesome visual specs and definitely has its place for that mid-tier VR market. Now, the most expensive option that a lot of people know about and a lot of people kind of dream and wish they had is the Valve Index. Now, the Valve Index is a fantastic headset. There's boasting some incredible specs to it, and overall is just going to be an awesome PC VR gaming experience if you have this headset. That being said, not everybody wants to drop $1,000 on a Valve Index, and not everybody's going to just freely hand over $1,000 for a VR headset that is slowly going out of style, if that makes sense. The specs on the headset are good and it's still a great headset, but there are headsets coming out and already out within the HP Reverb that just already have better visuals, and it'll be interesting to see where Valve takes their headsets in the future, and the Index 2, which inevitably will come out, or an Index S, however they plan to do it. But for right now, dropping $1,000 on a headset that probably within a year will be obsolete, not saying that Valve won't support it, but just saying that overall the software and hardware on that headset probably are going to be updated at some point here within the next year or 2 years. So with that being said, the price, your best bang for your buck price-wise is obviously going to be the Oculus Quest 2 because there's just so much versatility with it, and it really is going to allow a lot of people to get into VR without, if your parents are looking to buy you a Christmas gift, or maybe you got a bonus from your job, you're not going to have to spend $1,000 to get into something, especially if you're not sure that VR is going to be for you. It will be, I promise. If you get into VR and you play real VR games, you're going to have one of the most amazing experiences of your life, and you'll never look at gaming the same way ever again. But that being said, not everybody wants to drop $1,000 and risk it, if that makes sense. So the Oculus Quest 2 is absolutely going to be your best bang for your buck price-wise. So that brings us to our next section here, which is going to be visuals. And if you are a person that focuses on visuals and that is the absolute most important thing to you, then you might want to take a serious look at the HP Reverb, because the HP Reverb has by far the best visuals out of any of these headsets. And that boasts with a 2160 by 2160 pixels per eye, which is almost crystal clear quality to the human eye right now, and there's almost negligible screen door effect. Or if you're playing, in particular, if you are a sim game player and you're not as worried about tracking of motion controllers, and maybe you play with HOTAS, or you're playing driving games or something like that, the HP Reverb is absolutely going to be the best headset for you, because you're going to be able to read small text clearly, you're going to be able to see distances with minimal screen door effect. It's just going to be an awesome visual headset. That being said, the HP Reverb does have other good qualities with it. The tracking isn't terrible, but it also isn't super competitive, that if you're somebody that really wants to get into competitive shooters, maybe not the best option for you. But overall, the visuals of the HP Reverb are the best. And then second in line to that is actually going to be, if you're talking about the Quest 2, but linked up to a PC, your pixels per eye is going to be 1832 by 1920 per eye, which is really excellent. And if you have a good high powerful PC and you have the Oculus Link cable, you're going to get excellent visuals on a Quest 2. And again, that price is just really appetizing. Now, both those headsets have 90 Hz refresh rate, which is awesome, definitely helps picture quality. Now, this is one place where the Valve Index does shine, is with the refresh rate of 144 Hz. That's something that's awesome and definitely improves the overall visual quality. But in the visual category, if that is the most important thing to you, in particular if you're playing sim games, or you just want the best possible quality picture, you're not super competitive or anything along the lines of that, then the HP Reverb is probably the best bang for your buck in that department. So the next section we are going to talk about is tracking. If you are a super competitive shooter player, or you're somebody that's in clans or planning on doing esports, and you can't afford your controllers to lose tracking, then you probably want to stay as far away from inside-out tracking as you possibly can, even though the Oculus Quest 2 has really actually decent inside-out tracking for inside-out tracking, which I already am not a huge fan of, but if done right like the Oculus Quest 2, it is pretty serviceable. Now, that being said, the absolute best tracking right now that you can get is the Valve Index. It's run by a laser system, so you're not going to lose tracking anywhere in your room scale with your controller. So if you're somebody who's super into competitive gaming and you put tracking above all else in a VR headset, then you may want to save up the money and go with a Valve Index. As far as, maybe you can't afford a Valve Index, but you're still on the competitive side of things, then your definitely best bet is going to look at the Oculus Quest 2 as a next step down, just because the tracking and the inside out of it is just better run than the HP Reverb. We all know that Windows Mixed Reality, the first headset that came out, had abysmal tracking and many problems, and the HP Reverb definitely capitalizes and fixes on some of those problems, but there is definitely still occlusion and other tracking issues that are involved with that headset. So if you put tracking above all else, you want to start with the Valve Index and then work your way down to an Oculus Quest 2. So that leads us to our next category, which is our best overall and the headset that most people are probably going to upgrade to this holiday season, and that is the Pimax Vision 8K Plus. Man, this headset is so awesome. For the low price of $850, you can get an absolutely terrible headset with just terrible visuals and terrible integration into Steam VR. But guess what? You have 200 degrees field of view and you can't see anything clearly on the screen. Just kidding. We are going to talk about the Oculus Quest 2 is absolutely your best bet. If you're a PC VR gamer or you just want to have wireless gaming experiences, this is your best bet. And the reason being is because you can not only stream desktop VR to your Oculus Quest 2, which means you can play PC VR games wirelessly. However, I would recommend using the Oculus Link cable or a suitable sub cable of some sorts that you can get anywhere. The Oculus Quest 2 is by far the best bang for your buck here. When you talk about price, it's the lowest priced, even with all the add-ons, which I do highly recommend. And if you are only going to be using it for PC VR, which is exactly what I would do, considering I have a VR-ready PC. I love PC VR games. I definitely think that they are much beefier and run smoother than just standalone Quest games. If that was me and I was buying an Oculus Quest 2, I would simply buy the $299 56GB version because I'm not storing games on my Quest 2, and then I would buy the strap, which is only $49 without the battery, and then I would buy not a brand name Oculus Link cable because those are like $80, but something that is like $30 that is a good substitute for the Oculus Link cable. And there I go. I'm already, under about $450, and I have a pretty good next-gen VR headset that has a lot of things going for it. So it's absolutely your best bet. And if this holiday season you're questioning or thinking about getting into VR, the Oculus Quest 2 is by far the best priced, has the best specs in comparison to price-wise, and is just overall a good user-friendly experience. However, it sucks that Facebook is the sole owner of Oculus as a company, because I know that a lot of us have ill feelings towards Facebook, and Facebook definitely does some sketchy things, but at least Oculus is pushing the boundaries of VR forward. Well guys, that is it for this video. I hope every single one of you gets a chance to upgrade your VR or get into VR this holiday coming up, so we can all hop into the virtual universe and shoot each other in the face without any repercussions. That being said, if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, drop a subscribe right now, hit that like button, and be a part of the VR community. Join my Discord server, and if you own an Oculus Quest 2, hit that giveaway button. Give yourself a chance to win In-Depth Unchained, which is an awesome Souls-like, kind of roguelike RPG experience for the Oculus Quest. It's going to be awesome. You definitely are going to enjoy that game. So enter the giveaway, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.